Muted. Hey, Shalissa. How you doing, girl? I was muted just then. Thought I was doing something. Oh, yeah, there I go. So I haven't been on here in a little while to do a live, but I tried to the other day when I went to the my doctor's appointment. But there's so much stuff that happened in between my doctor's appointment and today, so I'm like, let me go and go live. Hey, Miss Kajaria. Um, I figured it's enough stuff done happened between the doctor's appointment and now. It's just like, let me go and do a live and just update what is what it is, you know what all happened, all of that good stuff and everything. But all in all, um the doctor's appointment was it was a good doctor's appointment. As I showed y'all in my shorts, that the first thing when we pulled up there, I was like, oh God. I was like, here we are starting already. Um, because there was an ambulance and a fire truck that was there when we first pulled up. So I was like, that must mean today ain't gonna go that well. But hey, Belize, uh, love you, gold teeth, big. Thank you. um, so me pulling up there, I'm thinking to myself, this may not be a good appointment because already like that's like a bad sign or whatever that the ambulance or whatever was there. But thank you very much. And for those of y'all, I know a lot of people don't mean no harm or whatever, but my name is Tashana and you can call me Shauna for short if you like to. Um I am a big mama, but yeah, I don't want to be everybody's big mama. So I am big mama though. Yeah, I got a big family. I'm big. All of that. Yeah, Shauna, thank you very kindly. No shade and no nothing, but I like to tell people what I like to be called. So you can call me Tashana or Shauna. Hey, growing with Hudson. Stopping in before Bled. Glad to see you smiling. Thank you for stopping in, growing with Hudson. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you. So when I went to the doctors the other day, y'all know it's been 2 months since I had chemo. Um, but they're now trying to get me back on track. They actually had me scheduled for Monday to do chemo again. Um, with the way things are working out right now, he was in hopes that they could get everything done that they supposed to do. But here tomorrow is Thursday, and nothing's happened yet. So that's a good sign that nothing ain't about to happen on Monday because they will not have beat unchecked the port. So we are not going to have chemo, I believe, on Monday already. So, anyways, but I went in there, and then the next thing that happened. that I feel like, oh gosh, this is a bad sign. Of course, I ain't want to hear nothing about gaining no weight after all this time that I done fought to lose weight, and now I'm just gaining weight. When before, when you on chemo, like it make you sick and everything, so it make you lose weight and everything. But also they pump you with a lot of steroids and stuff like that. So um, it also it almost balances it out, but for some people it works and some people it don't. When I was getting chemo, I was losing about 10 pounds every single week. And now it's like I went 2 weeks ago and the 2 weeks before that. um oh yeah, Kajaria, you right about that. I wasn't talking to you like girl, you understand. But hey girl face, thank you. um but I was losing 10 pounds, about 10 pounds per week. So every time that I would go to the doctor, I would be done lost like 20 pounds every time I go for a check in for chemo or whatever. So now that I'm not taking chemo, now I done been for the past two appointments that I done been to, I gained 15 pounds the first time, and I gained 11 pounds this time. So do I like seeing those numbers? Absolutely not. Not, and I don't have no control of it. I know, because, and I'm still not eating a lot of food or anything like that. Uh, when you on steroids, the steroids gonna do what they gonna do. So, but yeah, I don't like those numbers. I don't like feeling the heaviness of it coming back or whatever. So that was the second thing that happened. But I expected it also, because I can feel like myself gaining the weight. Um, but I was very excited to meet my new doctor. He had great personality. It's like we clicked together. He answered all of my questions, and all of the questions that I told you in the conversation that I was having with the old doctor. And he was making everything seem like my fault. This doctor was totally the opposite of that. He actually explained away why everything that was happening to me, even down to the water, the swelling that's in my ankles, right? So, and my ankles had been swollen ever since I was in the hospital for like that week. Um, when I was in the hospital for like that week, I got like 16 bags of fluids. So with them pumping that much fluid into me, this him looking over my chart and everything, with them pumping that much fluid into me, he said that it triggered two things. It triggered my kidneys to be overwhelmed with all the fluid that was there, and also which then gave me a reading of my kidneys weren't functioning right, if I'm explaining it the right way. Because I record everything. I told you, like, it's like I don't my memory is not that good once I leave. Once I get information and stuff now, especially dealing with this chemo situation, so it ain't it ain't that great. So I have to go back and listen to but I hopefully I'm explaining it right. But um my kidneys was overwhelmed with all of the fluid and stuff that they gave to me, and then the fluid had to go somewhere. So what it did was it went down to my feet, swole up my ankles and everything like that. But he was like, eventually that will work itself out. And today I was supposed to have well, I won't say I was supposed to have, I was scheduled to have um another iron infusion and another steroid infusion. But my doctor canceled, um he canceled those two things because he didn't want me to get any more fluid. um he want my ankles to go ahead and go down. And surprisingly, today I looked at my ankles, and today was the first time I looked at them and saw that I had some sort of normalcy. So that worked out good. And all the other things that Like he was just making me aware is that no, the weight gain is not going to be your issue. You just the steroids are gonna do it for you, and just the things that I told y'all that my one doctor was trying to make it like it's all my fault and everything, and he just explained as to why none of that stuff was not my fault. It's just something that comes along with doing chemo and whatever. So anyways, but I like my new doctor and everything, and I just figured let me come on and give like a little bit of an update. It was a really great appointment. um and everything. And what you said, girl face, he walking in his purpose. He walking in his purpose. I think the same thing too. You too. You looked healed. Girl face. You saying I look like I'm healed. I say I feel like I am. Like I really do. I really do feel like I'm healed. I really do. Um And to be honest with you, this kind of what I want to happen. Not kind of what I want to happen. This is what I want to happen. Hey, Miss Erica, I really want. There's two things my doctor scheduled for me. He scheduled a port check, and he also scheduled a MRI again. Now, one of the things that we did talk about that I wanted to ask somebody, um, if anybody got when you get your port right, do you are you scared to lay on the shoulder or the side that your port is on? Because one of the things that he did tell me, he asked me when they put the port in, did they give me any directions saying like you shouldn't lay on that side, or you shouldn't you shouldn't sleep on this side or whatever like that. And they never gave me any of those directions unless I missed something. I always have to throw that out there because I told y'all sometimes I don't be paying attention to the information. So um my port is here on this side. Well, I'm a side sleeper. So what he was saying to me that if whichever side your port is on, it is best that you not sleep on that shoulder because it can make the port do like a scrunching up. Nobody ever told me that. So I was waiting on the moment where I felt comfortable enough so I can sleep on my side. And so he did let me know that there is a chance that what I was feeling there was like a straw when you bend the straw or whatever. Possibly my port, one of the lines in it bent like a straw, and that's what I was feeling poking out there. And being that it's not like that anymore, I guess it done smoothed itself out or whatever, but still they want to check and make sure that everything is okay with it or whatever. But yeah, that's something else I learned. That's not a direction that they gave me when I first got the port. So anybody else ever had that problem, there is a knowing. So what the other thing is, what I was getting ready to say before I jumped off into that. I be all over the place. Y'all have to remind me sometimes when I done said something and then done forgot it. But one of the things was um what I want to be done. Yeah, stay off of it. Yeah. And I tried to, but even last night I was on that side, not the same way that I usually be, but I had to prop them pillows up and stuff, and you sleep the way you sleep. You gotta work on, yeah, that's something you gotta work on. But when I say that I feel like I'm healed, I literally feel that way. And what I feel like I want to happen is I want to have an MRI done, um, so that I can see for myself, or the doctor can see if he can compare or just see what is going on there. Is what I want to happen. And I just have to keep going with whatever way things have been going for me so that I can and if God put it in that order for me to be able to do it, because I'm telling you, blocks been put up for everything that they've been trying to do to me. It just is not happening. If it ain't it ain't a complication with the insurance, if it ain't something wrong with the port or something, it's always something going up. And I could have been choosing like to have like be all stressed out and stuff because I ain't able to do this, but I'm not. It's just like the moment that I took and I said, God, I didn't invite you into this situation, but I'm gonna invite you in here. And I was on chemo session number 3 when I invited God into the process. And usually I invite him in at the beginning, but for whatever reason I didn't invite him in the first place. It just took me by storm. I can say that that's one of the reasons why I didn't move in that way. But once I invited him in, and it's like, so I got four rounds of chemo, and then everything start to be interrupted. And this time I just decided that whichever way it goes, if it's meant for me, I'm going to submit to it, and if it's not meant for me, that's what I'm going to submit to. And so far, everything has been pointing to it's a no. It's a no. So, that's where I am right now with my cancer. I don't know, if I have any shrinkage or if it's not there anymore or whatever. And two, you have to understand that when I came into mine, um, my cancer was not even showing up in blood work. If that makes sense to somebody, because I told y'all I know some things, and then other things just like I don't be really into it in that way. It's like my family collects the information, and like sometimes information like that overwhelms me or whatever. Hey, baby. Sometimes information like that overwhelms me, and so I kind of not try to take all of it in. And if I catch something that the doctor is saying to me, like, then I try and ask questions right then or whatever. But once I hear something that um, can possibly make me put me down or whatever like that in that way, then I'm gonna shut down to the process. I'm not dealing with it. So um I don't know. Maybe y'all got some questions about something that y'all done heard me talk about or something pertaining to me going through the chemo or whatever. I don't know. Sometimes I be needing to ask y'all questions or whatever, but yeah, I never asked anybody about the port. Is it a certain way you gotta sleep? Can you not sleep this way? They didn't tell me that I couldn't sleep a certain way, so um of course I'm gonna come and I'm gonna try and sleep my same old comfortable way. And yeah, it's not comfortable. And it actually, just to feel it, it feel like it almost feel like my skin's so paper thin over the top of it. But hey, I don't know. I've never had a port before. It's just I'm at for this port that I have. I'm actually excited to have this kind of port, because the port that I was crying about was the port that and God knows my heart go out to people who do dialysis, because I literally, because I worked with people that was doing dialysis before. I often saw their ports, and to me, it was scary. And then just to hear some of their stories or whatever, I literally thought that's the kind of ports um, that I was going to end up having. But as you can see, you can't. My port is not visible on the outside at all. So yeah, I was thoroughly surprised that this the kind of port that I ended up with. So I don't recall them saying. I just remember them saying not pulling or lifting anything over 10 pounds. That's the gist of what I remember too, Shalis. Not lifting and pulling up on anything that was 10 pounds. Like I don't remember. Oh, girl face, you got a port too. Sisters keepers, love it. I got one. You ain't got no. You. I don't think. Girl face ain't got no port. Hey, Korean. Millionaire chicken poo. Hey. But yeah, Korean, was you in here when I asked the question about the port? Did they tell you it's a certain way? Cause I think Korean, you told me you had a port. You had a port before, right? Did they tell you when you had a port that did they tell you that you can't sleep on the side that you have the port in? Oh, okay, you got a sister's keeper. Yeah. I was finna say, you ain't never said that, girl face. I know you had your niece that they didn't tell Korean either. I remember Korean telling me that you I remember you telling me, Korean, that you had a port before. Um but I don't they didn't tell me that I couldn't sleep a certain way. See, my doctor ended up telling me um my my the line going from my port up into my neck is it could have gotten bunched up because of me sleeping on my side, my shoulder. So that was a surprise to me. He asked me, he said, did they tell you in surgery? And I'm telling you, my friend that went to surgery with me when I had it done, she's very thorough. And if they said that I wasn't allowed to sleep on my shoulder, she would have reiterated that I don't know how many times. She's very thorough, and I'm telling you, it's not one of the instructions that they gave. And so I was confident in telling him, no, they didn't tell me that. They didn't tell me. See, there you go, Miss. There you go, Miss Erica. That's what. And he said that they should have told. They should have told me that when I left there. But he was saying that that's one of the reasons why I could feel the thing probably poking there, is because I slept on my side and then it's like bunching up the, yeah. So I didn't know any of that stuff could happen. So I guess we all learning together. Have they tried to flush it? No, I told you the nurse. I told you the nurse said that she wasn't comfortable with accessing the port. So they wanted me to get a see, they scheduled me again for me to have a port check this week, and hopefully to have chemo on Monday. But uh today, well, today finna be Thursday, and I don't got no appointment scheduled yet. So I doubt it very seriously if I'm going to get a ultrasound before Monday. I just don't see it happening. So I think they're going chemo is going to be postponed again because they scared to access the port because of the thing that was poking there in my skin. So, you know, and no, they haven't tried to flush it. And to be honest with you, um, uh, the way that thing was poking me in my chest, I'm scared for them to access it. Really, to be honest with you. Hey Richie, I don't want to mess up your first name, so uh, you look so pretty. Thank you very much. Yes, she would have. Yeah, exactly. She would. She absolutely would have reiterated and told me that over and over again to not do those things. She's so thorough with everything. So no, she didn't say it. And two, she would have passed that information on to the other people that was helping me. So no, they never said that. Dang, that's messed up, right? Get it replaced. Yeah, so I don't, the best way that I can think of it is that and to Korean, what made me say that I don't really. I'm scared for them to access it because remember, I have a aortic aneurysm in this artery. What they got the port in. So if they access it, and what if it, I really, I don't know if they trying to flush it and then nothing happens, or if they flush it and maybe it got a crack in it or whatever. Where is it? Where's the liquid going or whatever? I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. So, they supposed to do the ultrasound. So I just rather them to be able to see it and go over it and make sure ain't nothing wrong with it before they start trying to pump anything else through it. If I'm supposed to even have it again, I don't know. I really don't know. Ooh, I got to chill just then. Hey, Darcy. Hey, Deal's mom. Yeah. So I don't know. And then too, it's like they be saying it like, well, if you, this is how it goes with you having the port replaced. So on the day when they go and do the ultrasound, if they find a problem with the port, it's not like they gonna send you home and then you come back. That is scheduled for you to have the port replaced. If they find that there's an issue with the port on the day that they check it, they replace it on the same day. And it's almost like I'm saying, "Oh, we do this." Well, they do it every day, but like, huh? So it's just like, yeah, it's just so, just because that's not initially what they said to me. It was like I'm talking to the lady over the phone that schedules this, and she's saying, yeah, if they find whatever is wrong with the port on the same day, they replace it in the same day. And I'm just like, so you just gonna throw surgery on me all of a sudden? Because it ain't like that they just can, this is something to be replaced on the top of your skin. No, they gonna put you to sleep, and then you gonna get, yeah, sliced and diced or whatever. So it's just like, okay. But anyways, you felt the chill too. Yeah, you gotta eventually have it removed, right? Hey, Shakira. Hey, girl. How you doing? How's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing pretty good. Make sure they have you comfortable during the removal and at home for sure. Yeah, I just, I don't know. I don't know what they doing. But y'all, what else good? What else good happened? I just wanted to give a report. Usually like I try to go live and everything like after I come from the appointment and everything, while things are so fresh. But this was, I feel like I literally didn't feel the same way that I did when I've been going. I told y'all, like, I almost get sick when I go there, just knowing or whatever. This time I didn't get the sick feeling, like that. Sometimes when I walk in the building itself, it's just I get sick, and I don't know, that pop because I knew that I wasn't having chemo the last time that I went there. Could have been a reason why I didn't get any of that stuff right there, but it was a different experience this time. Um, I'm talking about making sure you're not in pain. Period. Korean, when I had to put it, when they put the port in the first time, I didn't have no pain. Surprisingly, none. I didn't have any pain. I was very comfortable. So when you say that, it was very comfortable. It's just getting used to seeing that, and it was. I think the glue that they put it together with. Did you have stitches, or did they did glue to close yours up? They did glue to close mine up, and I didn't feel any pain. It was just like, the nervousness of taking a shower after they tell you you can take the shower. I think it's 3 days that they gave you, if I can remember. It's 3 days you're supposed to, before you take a shower, something like that. You could actually take a shower, but you couldn't. They recommend you not take a shower. You just can't get this part wet. But I didn't feel, um, I didn't feel no pain from it. I don't remember. Did I even have pain medicine? Did they give me pain medicine for it? I don't think so. And That's kind of weird. You would feel like, because I had the cut. Well, you can see it right there running in. That's so funny how you can see that right there. But they put one, it was one cut right here on my neck, and that line runs from there to there. But yeah, no pain that I can remember, but it looks so much, it looked bad when it's got the glue that holds it together versus once it come off. I like it, not that I like the way that it looked, but it looked much better once the glue fell off of it to hold it together. I'm good. I missed you all. I've been tied up with prom and graduation. Congratulations, girl. We was doing the same thing. I felt all thrown off. I was like, where everybody been at? And it ain't necessarily that anybody else been anyway. It was I wasn't there. I went and celebrated with my nephew them too for his graduation. Shout out to Shalissa and my nephew. How did your doctor treat you? I hope he's all you need. I like this doctor, and when I say this, I'm not trying to be funny. He speaks very good English. Cause sometimes I say, let me say why this, cause somebody might take this as offensive, right? If you know how sometimes like having a conversation with somebody and you can't quite understand what they're saying, some people be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's not me. If I don't understand what you're saying, you ain't gonna get a yeah out of me because I don't want to be saying yeah to the wrong thing. So, um, he speaks very good English, and he is he gives direct eye contact. He's very friendly. I don't too much care for doctors that be like robots. Treat everybody, they treat every patient like another patient, like you just moving, you just a recorder, you like a computer, you just go from one patient to the next one saying the same thing over and over again. None of that. So Korean, yes, I liked my doctor. Like my doctor, and I actually had on one of my t-shirts when I went to the doctor, and he actually say, oh, you on YouTube? He was like, I'm gonna have to follow you and like and subscribe. I was like, okay then. You had stitches? Yeah, I didn't have any stitches. They just glued mine together. You are a ball of nerves before getting it, but I told you it was as bad as it wasn't bad as bad as you were thinking. Well, Shakira, I was thinking because of the ports that I had seen before was for dialysis patients, and so I was really scared of that, and and scared of it because it's on the outside, and I'm scared of like it getting knocked on something, hit against something or whatever, and I just feel like it was going to like handicap me and stop me from doing like anything. And let me tell you something else that this doctor also encouraged me to. Um, as much as I want to go out in the garden and everything, he actually encouraged me to keep moving, keep moving, keep don't sit back and so it was good to like hear him, but it's like, but also too, it's kind of like wanting to know is like why did the other doctor was like saying so much stuff, but he encouraged me to like, don't sit back and let yourself, if you can get up and move around, then do that. Now, was that easy to do? And probably I can honestly say, had my first doctor not told me to not go into the garden to rest as much as I could or whatever, um I would have, I probably would have beat myself up a whole lot more because it made me I told y'all before, it made me feel like I was a lazy bum or whatever, wasn't doing anything, because a lot of times no energy. I still get that right now to this day. Can I do a lot more stuff than what I was doing before? Absolutely. I think I ran out to the garden probably about 6 times a day, but the rain kept raining down on me. And if I was wanting to do exactly what was in my mind, I would have been out there twirling around in the rain, but then I don't want. I have to remember that chemo also like tears down your immune system or whatever, and so girl, it ain't a good time for you to be out there playing around in that rain, twirling around like you 5 years old. It don't do it. So I got myself on out of the rain. Hey Miss T, looking good, mama. Hey Lulu Moon. Um Oh no, he didn't. Do you ever miss having a neck? My neck is right here. And my back. I don't know why I be going to read them comments that that child please. You got rid of him. You out of here. Goodbye. Uh okay. Yeah, Shalissa get them. You had pain pills, if I recall. It was for your stuff. Yeah, I did. I already had pain pills, but I didn't have to take them. I never took them because of the. I never took them because this hurt when I had the surgery, and I was scared to move my neck and all of that stuff right there too. Everything I was scared. I was stiff as a board after I got it. Okay, like and subscribe. Oh yeah, kidneys at one. Oh, okay, Korean. Thank you for mentioning that. Yes, one of the things that I told him I was. We were just going down the things of um what I was talking to the other doctor about, and I mentioned to him about and he was all he had mind you, he had already pulled it up too. Um, because he's seen that, I guess he's seen already that it was a concern of mine, but I was telling him, going down the list of things that had happened to me since I had been on chemo and everything. And so when I got to the part about my kidneys went from 100% the week before, and then it at 88% the next week. And that's when he went into the you getting the 16 bags, the 14 to 16 bags of fluids, and some of the fluid had sugar in it, which then overwhelmed my kidneys. So um but anyways, he said from the blood work, my recent blood work that he went over, my kidneys are back functioning at 100%. 100%. Yes. You would have thought I had won a wrestling match. I was like, yes, yes, yes. So no, that's why I say that appointment went from bad to good. So I feel like I walked out of there with some awesome news, just hearing, in 1 week you're in the hospital and your kidneys are perfectly fine. The next week, you go back into the hospital and your kidneys functioning at 88%. That's a scary situation. And so I'm very grateful to hear my kidneys are back where they're supposed to be at. I'm so proud to see how you are talking about it like your old self, to see where we started. You're killing it and kicking this thing's head. Yes, Shakira. Yeah. And yeah, to know that yeah, I showed y'all everything, like how scared I was, and yeah, it was very, very, very scary. And I feel delighted to be in the place that I am in right now, because I really thought this was going to be a sad, sad, bumpy road for me. And no, it ain't nowhere near like I thought it was. I'm telling you, um I don't wake up on a daily basis thinking about cancer at all. And God bless the people that do get up and they can't get it off of their mind every day, but I can get up and not even, it's not a thing that hits my mind on a day-to-day basis thinking that I have cancer. Actually, I get up and think every day, I wonder, is my cancer gone? I do be thinking about that now. So, no, ma'am, even a mosquito bite could land you in the hospital. I told mama she got to go outside in a bubble in the summertime. Oh, the mosquitoes are definitely mosquitoing, and I got me some. I thought I had my off like right here by me. I can't even play with it. I can't even play with it. Yes, my neck and my back. Both of them, Lulu. I felt like my garden told me I was sick. Really? Miss Erica, you connected like that to your garden? Wow. See, but there's not a lot of. I feel like there's not a lot of people like you can say that to, and it makes sense to them. But when you say that, it's almost like, golly, that's somebody who understands your language, right? There's like, I go out and I look at my garden, and if that's one of the things I used to say all the time is like, if you want to grow in something, um, and you're trying to grow in the garden, connect it to the thing you're trying to grow. If you trying to get stronger in something, you're trying to change something in your life, connect that thing and your garden to each other, and your garden will speak to you about that situation you in. If you go say like if you going to school, you in college or something, and you plant a garden and say my garden is going to be the manifestation of how I'm doing in school. When you start to go wrong in school, something's going to go wrong in your garden. And I've told you all before, like, something is not going right in my life. Is something in my garden always shows me. So, um I don't know what been going wrong, but I'm tell you something about about all of my squash. Whew, I think I had about 30 plants up there, and they all just like all shriveled up or whatever. So I think what I was trying to do today was get out there and go ahead and get rid of them out of the garden, resoil, and do everything. Cause y'all know squash vine borers are horrible in the garden, but yes, your garden will speak to you. I don't know what the squash thing is about. I thought maybe I had beat them at this point, but no, they got me. And so for me, it's just like, all right, then I didn't win with that one right there. So now I'm going. It ain't gonna stop me from going at it. I hate bald spots in my garden, so I'm going to find something else that I can put there. The doctor sounds so much better taking the time to explain things. Yes, Deborah. Hey, how you doing too? Um, he absolutely took the time, and even after I asked all the questions that I asked and talked to him about everything, he listened to my story and everything. He even got up and he told me, he asked me, "Do you have any more questions? Um, do you are you sure you don't have any more questions? I want to make sure I answer everything." And he even told me, I don't know if I should say that. I ain't gonna say that. He told me to apply for Medicaid. That's what he told me to apply for. And he basically, I got you, girl. so, so, well, we shall see. But yes, amen. You keep asking, you kept asking why you're, yes, Shakira, I did. Yes, I did. I didn't understand it because, like, even when you say that, Shakira, I told you sometimes when I can go back into stories and things that happened to me in my life, it's like I can have the feeling on the inside of me. I can feel just reading that first line of how I felt when I was saying that to you, and it's almost like it can bring a tear to my eye because not that it should happen to anybody else, but it's like, dear God, like, ain't I? Ain't I been through enough stuff? And I probably said the same thing at that time or whatever. It's like, haven't I been through enough stuff already? Why can't I just have a break or whatever? No, I remember just feeling all of that. Why not you? You are a warrior to help someone else out here that may not even been thinking anything is wrong. I love you. I love you too, Shakira. But yes, I remember, girl. You got a good memory. You made me go down memory lane. Like, ooh, that was that was a hard that was a hard time. But then to also look at it as like, what's easy about hearing that you have cancer? At the timing, even the doctor talked to me about that right there. Because he hadn't looked at it and saw that it was Valentine's Day. And basically, he wanted to know the whole story. And I was just telling him that they saw on the MRI that possibly my pancreas needed to be cleaned of like any sludge or anything like that, and maybe a stent needed to be put in or something like that. And I went expecting to have that stuff done, and I woke up with the diagnosis of you have cancer, and it was on Valentine's Day. And he was like going through the thing. He was like, "Yeah, you got a double whammy," and he's just like, "It's good to see you like smiling and stuff, through all of that." And he asked me, "Have I been in any pain since I haven't been getting chemo?" In the past 2 months. And I told him, no, no pain at all. And he reiterated to me. And I told him, I said, I heard that's a good thing that I'm not feeling any pain. And he said, no, it's not a good thing. He said, it's actually a great thing that you're feeling no pain, which is a good sign, a great sign. So, you know, yeah, it, I'm almost on like the verge of being like, I love my new doctor, but I only met him one time, so I'm like, girl, reserve that right there, But like, that's what I feel like. He different. He a different kind of doctor. So, I ran to my garden. No bugs were attacking me, but my sons were getting ate up. Okay. um Having a good doctor helps. Yes, make it easier for you to ask questions and stuff like that. Hey, fly girl, and you should apply. I keep saying that I haven't done it yet, and that was on Monday or Tuesday. We went to the doctor. Monday, one of them days. I'm gonna apply for it, but he told me, he said, go and apply for Medicaid. He said they're gonna contact us, and he said, and I got you from there. He said, I'm gonna give them what they need to make sure that you have it. So I just okay. Okay. As your garden grows, your body is growing healthy cells to kill off the cancer cells. God can use anything to heal us. Come on, Deborah, go ahead and say that thing, girl. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And that's one of the things that keep me smiling is that when I go out to my garden, I look at it, and sometimes if I do have a doubt in my mind, just going and looking at how green everything is out in the garden is always a reminder of, if your garden is a direct manifestation of what's happening in your life, then how could your garden be so green and you think that you messed up? So, that's kind of, how I see it. Let my garden encourage me, and then I encourage the garden to keep growing. Get on your tablet now. Get on your tablet now. We can fill it out together now. LOL. Yeah, Miss Air. What I said that and I thank you for the encouragement of going ahead and getting it done. I'm going to I have a plan to get that done first thing in the morning. To go ahead and get it all done, because he was like it just it doesn't make any sense. And then like he then I do you know, listen, I don't know who this for, but this came up too. This is another thing that happened at my at the doctor's appointment. I was talking to one of the nurses about all of the stuff that had been happening and everything, and I even told him about how my bank account had got hacked. The nurse at the doctor's office also told me her account got hacked too. So there is a big scam going on, especially if you banking anywhere like with Fairwinds or anything like that right there. I don't know what it is about Fairwinds, but when I tell you, I've heard now about, because the nurse that was talking to me, she said it was 20 people in line. All of them had the same issue with their bank account being hacked. And when I tell you my account got hacked, my niece, um, and two other people had told me too that their accounts was hacked. Um, while I was in the bank closing down my bank account, um, it was a man came in the bank right behind me, and his account, he came in and said his bank account had been hacked. So listen, anybody giving y'all phone calls or anything telling y'all that something going on with your bank account, your bank ain't gonna call you to tell you something going wrong with your bank account. It's gonna get shut down, and then when you try to go and use your bank account, you gonna find out then, and then you gonna contact your bank, but your bank ain't gonna contact you like that. So anybody calling you and telling you that that's what's going on, don't trust them. If you feel like something might be going on with your bank account, don't trust them still. Hang up on their behind and go to your bank account your own self, face to face. Because if they calling you and they playing with you on the phone, that means they already got a little bit of information and they already doing something. And right now to this day, they still haven't, they still telling me that it's gonna be about 90 days before um they can handle, they can fix my situation. So with the investigation, so look at Miss Car- wow. Um, mine too. I had all my cards in my purse. Yeah, it is crazy. So I done had to change all of my cards, close down the bank account, and then when we went the morning that I was going to the bank, when I got to the bank, they was asking me that, am I trying to buy a car? I say, hell no, I ain't trying to buy no car. That was just my response. I was like, hell no. I was like, this the worst time to be trying to buy a car right now. I was like, no, I ain't trying to buy no car. She was like, well, let me just tell you this. She said, we just gonna go ahead and shut this account down. And then she was telling me that somebody's trying to buy a car using my account, and I'm just like, yeah, go ahead and shut it down. And then when you have to shut down that account, then you have to remember how many things you have tied to your account. Like, like say you got memberships to people's pages and stuff like that. All that stuff be connected to everything, and so it's like everything got to be shut down, and you got to start over everything. And now it's like the bank is like, saying the best thing for you to do is, even like with those membership type things and everything, and I'm not speaking against nobody's membership or no nothing. I love to support people in those ways if I can or whatever, but they are saying it's like almost better for you to do the little things where you give them like the little gems and stuff like that, instead of connecting somebody else's, situation, where like they can, like if you set it up where people automated pay or something like that right there. Anything that you do like that, they suggest that you not do it. Just put your information in. Don't save your information like on no websites or no nothing like that right there. They just suggest that you don't save anything like that so people can have access to that type of stuff or whatever. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a gym purchasing person, and then I'll go and support the people um that I have been supporting on here. But it's like, yeah, be careful with your accounts and stuff. We all messed up. I know I'm one can short of a six pack. I'm just kidding. I got a text today saying I had an unpaid ticket. Call this number to pay it, and it was like delete. Absolutely, that's another one. Thank you for bringing that up, Miss Deborah. Especially they love telling you about you got tolls and stuff like that. That's another one that they doing tolls. If you give them any information to take money from off of your card or any of that stuff like that, they gonna take it. That's all of that stuff is a scam. Listen, I live in Orlando where they got tolls and stuff everywhere. uh the toll people is not finna call you and tell you nothing, but what they will do is keep on sending you a letter in the mail and showing proof that you ran through that toll at this such and such time and you need to pay this junk. And what they will do is keep on adding money on to it until you pay it. But is they texting you trying to get you to pay them tolls? Absolutely not. All of that stuff is all scams and stuff like that. So that's another one. Don't answer to none of that stuff. So I was on the phone with Wells Fargo while they were charging in New York and California. I was at the tractor supply getting food and stuff for my chickens and stuff. My chickens and pigs and things when they were scamming my account. So it's like, huh, this world that we live in, it's just evil. Nobody want to do things the right way no more. They just want to get things all the easy way and see what they can take from you. And that's just is what it is. So yeah, I'm glad y'all brought that up there. Spread the news out so that other people that's like vulnerable to that, um that that may get the phone call and they just heard somebody was talking about this last night on online. So let me not do that. No, don't answer no questions to none of them people. You go to your bank and you ask your bank your own self. Nobody on no phone or none of that stuff right there. So um but yeah, that's what I came on to like update about that right there. Then so we like get back into the groove. But too, let me tell y'all, it's like for this summer, I plan on not being still with my kids, like getting them out, going to do some things and everything, just not being still in the same place over and over and over again. So throughout this summer, there may be times that I'm going to be missing, but I will throw y'all up some shorts and everything. And still, you know, when I do shorts and stuff, it's still letting y'all in on everything that's going on, the way I feel about things, how things going in life, and stuff like that. I'll do that, but I may not be going live as much because I will be moving around, and every place that I move around may not have the space, and everybody don't want to be put online and stuff like that. So I kind of try to be respectful of that, like that type of situation or whatever. So if y'all find me missing in action, you know, then I just you know it ain't that I'm running what the heck, CJ? Yeah, we just gonna leave that right there. So yeah, that's one of the things that I'm just let y'all know right off the rip. For the summer, I'm trying to keep my kids busy, doing some things, being still. And then on top of it, like my family is making a lot of plans you know, for us and everything. So we plan to be moving around and shaking for the summer. So, just as sure as I can bring y'all along with me, I'm going to bring y'all. I'm gonna bring y'all. I like coming on talking to y'all. If they would just put half the effort into a job, they could make honest. Come on, Miss Deborah, tell them. Right. And they don't do they not understand anything you make in the any money you make in the wrong way, none of the stuff that you buy with that money, it ain't gonna last. Even I have had that experience. You know what Tupac say, you made a G today, but you made it in a sleazy way. You don't have none of that stuff, you know, that you get in that way. So it's like it's almost like you working against yourself. So, and I can only imagine, you know, because the thing that I said, I was like, people ain't got nothing else to do but to scam people. Um, but I said, whoa to the one that scammed my bank account because what you took, ooh, can set you back for a long time. So, and every time I think about it, I can almost get angry because there's a lot of things that I wanted to do. And right now, I don't have access to that money. I'm waiting on the bank account to put it back. I owe some things, I owe bills. It set me back. And I can either sit there and choose to be very nervous about it and upset about it. But no, nope. It crossed my mind, and I still keep myself in a place of peace. I ain't gonna let it work me up, but I know whoever did it, there's a price to pay for that. There's a price to pay. Crazy when we grew up. The only scammers we had was boosters selling us clothes, okay, appliances, etc. The good old days, right? You ain't had to worry about none of this stuff going on online and all this stuff. None of that kind of stuff. None of that stuff. The occasional, crackhead knocking on your door and got something to sell, something like that, right there. But you ain't have all of this stuff that's going on now. It's like these people can take your whole house and walk away with it, and nobody don't know what happened. It's just crazy like that. And running and not and knocking on people. Yeah, that Roger. What they call it? Negro knocking. As soon as they give it back, take it all out and change accounts and banks. Very important. Hey, Diamond and Black Roses. One of the things that I have done, and I haven't changed because there's times that I've put my card into a gas pump or something, and it's gotten scammed. And it's like because my bank account knows my spending activities or how I do things, and they've caught it like so many times, and they've put it. Oh, sorry, y'all. And they put it back immediately. This is the longest that I've ever had to wait with my bank for them to put my money back in there. And this is the third time that it's happened. The other times they caught it before they cleared out my whole bank account. Like one time somebody got they got $100 from out of there. Another time somebody got like $300 because they was going to every store on the road that I lived on, and they was stopping at every store getting cash back or whatever like that. They caught that because that was not the kind of spending that I do. And so I stay with the same bank. But I even thought about that as like questioning, like, do I need to leave them? But I've been with this bank forever in a day. Like, I think I opened this account when I was like 18 or 19. Really. I opened this account when I was like 18 or 19. So, sometimes hard habits, what they call, well, how they say it. But the one thing that I did do was I I closed the bank account down completely. That was hacked. I had to because they were trying to get a car and everything. I closed that bank account down completely. Well, the bank did. They told me that I needed to close that bank account down and open up a new one. And so we'll see. Diamond and Black. I definitely hear what you're saying, and I got other folks on here that hear what I'm saying, and they gonna be like, you remember Diamond said that. Run, sis. So thank you. Um, Everything took is going to come back to you tenfold. Thank you, Deborah. You know that's one of my sayings right there. And you know what I always say, because I've had people that wish bad things on me, and I thought that you thought they really care about you, or they have your best interest at heart or whatever. So one of my things is I always say, whatever you ask God for me, I ask that He give it back to you 10 times what you asked Him for me. And so, two, I'm like, whoever this was that did the scamming or however they did it or whatever, God, whatever they did to me, may you give it back to them 10 times what they gave to me. 10 times, please do. And don't make them suffer for a long time, but let them get the lessons that they don't want to do this to anybody else, because the only thing it does is set you back. That's all it does. It sets you back. And that's what you call a real setback. I was talking about setbacks the other night. Sometimes when things keep happening in your life and you start, it was like, oh my God, these setbacks is horrible. Some setbacks is, that rubber band pulling. And then when you think it's a setback, then that rubber band get pulled back so far, and then it take off. And then before you know it, you catapulting towards greatness, nothing but greatness. So it's so many things that been happening to me, and I mean, when I say they back to back to back, I know my setback is for a great comeback. So that's the way I'm choosing to see my setbacks, because God knows they was coming left and right. Left and right. The crackheads look out for you more than these. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, cuz, I got what you need. You need something? You need something? Yeah. Even at one point, I had to start saying, I went, used to back in the days, I would buy stuff from them, but then at one point, I got a conviction. I got convicted of doing that. It's like, if you wouldn't go to the store and steal, um, but this stuff is brand new and everything, and they stealing stuff from the store, and you're supporting them in some way of stealing from somewhere, and you're buying it from them, you still dealing in stolen things. So eventually, at one point, I even stopped doing that. And that's not a knock for anybody, because I don't stood around and, like, I used to see people come through, got a whole bunch of stuff in their cars and everything, and I used to watch other people buy it. I still wanted to see what they had or whatever, but could I take my money and spend it on the stuff that they had? I couldn't do it. I wasn't able to do it, because I was convicted of it. And sometimes when you convicted of things, sometimes you can take those things and try to beat somebody else over the head with. Not necessarily, because the things God convicted me of don't mean He convicted this other person over here for it. It's just I couldn't buy it. And if somebody took the time and they asked me, well, why you ain't buy nothing? Because I've been convicted of buying that kind of stuff or whatever. I just say it, whatever. It don't mean that I knock anybody else for it. I just have to follow what it is that going on the inside of me. I can't do it. Could your bank check the cameras at car dealerships, find out who these people are? Well, they definitely got an investigation going. Oh, the last time I got a report on the investigation, because I don't even spend a whole bunch of time calling them and stuff every single day to try and figure it out or know nothing. Let Go ahead and do your investigation. I hope when you end up, you just put my money back in my account. I'm letting them do their thing. They got all of the information. I gave them my phone and everything to look up everything that was going on, how they was texting me, how they sent me a text through using one of their phone numbers and everything. Like, they crafty. So, I don't know, and I'm guessing that that would be one of the things that they're gonna look up and try and see, like, who was there trying to use the information or whatever. So, no, I didn't even think to ask them about that, but they did tell me the the last time that she seen in the computer that they was working on it was on the 23rd. Was on the 23rd of last month. So she said they was working on it. So we'll see. Identity fraud and theft. Yeah. So, but y'all, if there is no more questions or anything, y'all see, I already been yarning and like um my niece got me a shelf today, and honey, when she got that shelf, I don't know. It's something about getting another piece of furniture or something. It just make you change everything around and start doing 550 things. That one little old shelf turned into me doing 4 hours of work. So I'm just like, and I just couldn't put it aside to my. I mean, I tore up everything, rearranged everything. When my kids came over here, they was like, "You just done rearranged everything all over, all over again." So it's just like, yeah. And then she got me the shelf that I actually been saying, like, I was taking the measurements and everything. I mean, it is perfect. It's like the shelf she got was perfect. Perfect. So, yeah. Right, I dozed, but I'm up again. Yeah, Korean, I ain't talking all night. I ain't talking all nice and smooth tonight to put you to sleep. And that's why you woke. That's why you jumped back up. I love y'all to life. Love you too, Miss Erica. And I hope everything is looking much better for you. Keep on going out there to the garden, girl. There's plenty. It's plenty out there for you. Plenty, plenty, plenty. But I appreciate y'all for joining me over here at Life with Tashana, where life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. But over here, we are also known as the high class gardeners. Now, Miss Shauna, what does it mean to be a high class gardener? That just means we go out in the garden and we grow things and stuff like that. But we don't play around with no bugs, no snakes, no worms, no frogs, no none of that stuff right there. We got a couple of high class gardeners that be over here that play with those type of things. But we need one of them. So like when we got a snake, a bug, a worm, a frog, and any of that stuff right there, they can go ahead and scoop it up like Darcy. Like Darcy. She loved playing around with that kind of stuff. You go ahead and snatch them on out of the virtuous woman. She think frogs cute. All of that stuff right there. Congratulations to them. At one point, I was like, we gonna have to put y'all out of the high class garden. Then I started to think, girl, don't put them out. Don't put them out, cause you gonna need them to scoop up a worm or a frog or something. So we hurry up and reel them on back in. Come on back over here. Come on back over here. So that's, you know, if you're interested in being a high class gardener, all you got to do is hit that like button, the subscribe button, and there you are. You're a high class gardener. And if you don't have a garden yet, be cautious, because over here, gardening is very, very contagious, and you will get the garden bug. Really, you will. So, if that is all, you all, I will see you all tomorrow sometime. Whether it's me saying hey in a short, or me coming live to say hey to you all. But I will see you all sometime tomorrow. And let me tell y'all something else I noticed today that I hadn't been noticing. I've been saying that, and this is the last thing. Then I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all know chemo make your hair fall out, right? What I did realize today is my hair, you can't really tell like my hair is coming out, but what I do realize is, honey, the eyebrows are missing a little bit. But I ain't mad. I ain't mad. They got them what them things is that you glue up there. I gotta take a picture of what my eyebrows look like, so if they get any if they start to get any thin or whatever. See, I can't be like my sister, because like my sister done, Shalissa done got it down pat where she could take the eyeliner pencil and she can draw her eyebrows on. But see, I be wiping on my face and stuff all day long, and see where you have a eyebrow right here, my eyebrow be all the way over here somewhere and stuff like that. So I can't do that. So I'm gonna have to get me some of the ones that you you know you you know how the little kids get the tattoos from out of the Cracker Jack box and stuff like that. I'm gonna have to get me some of them right now. But all right, y'all. I will talk to you all later. Y'all have an amazing night. And I'll talk to y'all later. I love y'all. Who is Shakira? I had to stop and read your comment. Now that was funny. But I'm glad you was convicted, girl. I'm glad you was convicted. All right, let me get up out of here. Yes, you do got wipe ons and wipe offs, Celissa. Love y'all. Y'all have an amazing night.